Today, I got a whole lot of nothing for you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the IE427 garage. Today we've got one a little bit different for you. We've got some construction going on behind the shop. I don't know if you can hear, someone's having a roof put on. But we've also got a new project coming to the shop tomorrow. We had a visitor to the shop today, one of our FactoryFive family members, who brought a bunch of parts for us. So I'm in the process of getting all those parts organized and then taking them upstairs to store for short term until we figure out what we're going to do with those. We've got some work going on Michael's Mark III project, and I'll show you some of that. But I don't know where this video is going to go right now. I wanted to make sure we got a video out for you guys today, so I didn't want to not post anything at all. So let's just see where this goes, and we'll bring you guys all along for the ride. All right, everybody, let's start at the front of Michael's car real quick and get you caught up on what we've got going on here. I'm hoping to get back on this here in a little while, but I do have to get some parts organization done first. But before that, quickly on Michael's Mark III, we have started to finish the disassembly on the top end of the motor. We've got the old valve covers off, and I have installed the one valve cover on the driver's side of the engine, and it is really a beautiful piece. They just did an excellent job on the powder coat on this. I really like the color. We'll be putting the passenger side valve cover in here in just a little while. So you can see the engine is now in the car. We do have some engine mount spacers that should be on the way. I'm hoping they arrive today, but we'll see how that goes. Right now I have the engine jacked up on the driver's side because the clearance next to the footbox is really tight. So that enabled me to get the valve cover installed on that side of the car. The transmission mount is now all finished up. I haven't looked at it from the top here, but we did have to extend the mounting pad for the transmission back, and that allowed us to get the transmission all mounted up to the FactoryFive cross brace underneath. So that's all done. I finished that up during the week. If I have the car up in the air later, I will come back to that and show you guys exactly what that looked like. But we do have pictures of it on our Facebook page if anybody's interested in to see how that bracket was made. This is the collection of parts that our buddy John brought us this morning. John has a beautiful Mark III project that he has finished up and just got all of the registration completed on that. And so he's really tight on space where he's at and decided that he wanted to unload all of the extra parts and what have you that he had for the car. And so we eagerly took those and gave him a little thank you. And everybody's happy. Now I need to spend some time getting this all organized and put upstairs so that we can hopefully use all this stuff in the future. Okay, a little later in the day, it was mail time. Jeff Collins over at Whitney Motorsports set these out on Monday, I think. And we got these today. These are our engine mount spacers for the 4.6, and so since we have these, and it's going to make installing the valve cover on the other side a little bit easier if the motor's where it's going to permanently reside, we are going to throw these things in, and I'll bring you guys back when we've got those in the car. All right, so you can see the aluminum spacer in between the motor mount and the engine perch is installed by FactoryFive right there. One tip I'll give you guys, I'll see if I can sneak you in over on this side to see this one as well. You can just see it there, the aluminum spacer. Don't tighten down your engine mount nuts. You can snug them, but you're going to probably find that your side pipes aren't going to line up, even with the new design of the FactoryFive side pipes with the ball and socket. What you want is you want to get the end of the headers as close to the same measurement off the ground as you can before you even try to attempt your side pipe mounting. So what that means is you can actually bolt your headers up, and without having these nuts on the motor mounts really tight, there will be a little bit of movement from side to side. You can actually just kind of pull up on the side pipe on one side just a little bit, and just that 1/16 of an inch that you move the actual engine will translate into a 1/2 or a 3/4 inch in height at the end of the side pipe. And so you want to get your engine as level as you can from the tips of your headers before you ever do your body fitment and your side pipe alignment. Once you do that, then getting your side pipes aligned will be a lot easier, and then you can tighten up those mounting nuts for your engine mounts. We do have enough thread engagement. The stud of the mount just makes it through the end of the nut. I'd like to see a little more, but to go through the hassle of re-engineering the motor mounts is probably just not worth it. But this is a really good solution for the 4.6 liter dual overhead cam and all the 4.6s, I guess. And then when I talked to Jeff Collins on the phone, he says that when they do even the Coyotes, they put these spacers in there, and it just helps so much. So we may do this on our next Coyote build, which I hope will be here soon. So you can see up inside here, let me see if I can grab the flashlight again. There is not a whole lot of room, if you look right up there, between the valve cover and the actual foot box. And so that's why I wanted to get the valve cover in on this driver's side before we got too carried away with mounting the engine, because as it is now, as it sits, I probably wouldn't be able to get that valve cover on and off. I'd have to jack up this side of the engine. So I got that one in first while I had the engine kind of cocked off to the side. And now that it's all back in and we've got the engine pretty close to level, we'll go ahead and we will work on the passenger side valve cover. And we'll see how far we get today before we close the video out. All right, other valve cover is on and torqued. The value for these, I believe, is 74 to 104 inch-pounds for the valve cover hardware. So I kind of split it somewhere in the middle. I went to 90 inch-pounds, and that's what I tightened them down to. We'll watch them. These are pretty well engineered. They've got a like a rubber bushing underneath the little barrels that the bolts go into, and I suspect that they should hold their torque because they're always going to be under a little tension. So we'll see how that works out. I think what I'm going to do next is I am going to clean up the top of the motor here and see if we can't set the intake manifold down on the inside of the valley and get that part of this going. All right, we now have a lower intake manifold installed on the car, on the engine. Probably going to pull the belt, install the new alternator, and probably then close out the video. And then you guys will just have to wait till the next video to see how this turns out. All right, everybody, I think that's going to close it out for today. We went ahead and torqued down the bolts for the intake manifold. These went to 18 foot-pounds. I've just got the upper intake manifold just sitting there because it looks so pretty. We got the PowerMaster alternator, which is chrome, installed. We have the coolant crossover tube all put in and installed. I've got new hardware on that, and then I did save one of the Ford bolts that have the stud on top of it, because the Power Master instructions clearly state that they want a ground run directly to the alternator. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to run a number 8 ground from here through the valley underneath the intake manifold to the back, and we may ground that to where we've got the Holly system grounded. So I think that's going to do it for today. Hey, I want to thank you guys all for watching. We did go through all those parts that we got from John earlier in the day, and there was actually some cool stuff in there. We did get a pair of bare steel side pipes. They have a little surface rust on them, but we'll probably clean those up and take them over to the powder coater and have those ceramic coated, and some other little stuff. So thank you, John, for those. We are wrapped up on what we were working on for Michael's car today. If you guys like what you're seeing on the channel, go ahead and do the like and subscribe and share and all that stuff. If you've got a question, put it down in the comments. We'll do our best to answer any questions that you have. And until next time, have a great day.